Friday, Jayhawks, and welcome to Good Morning KU Sports. I'm Lexi, your host, and today officially marks our second to last show before break. For everyone who has tuned into our show this semester, we want to give you a huge thanks for the support. It's been an exciting season filled with some big moments in KU athletics, as well as plenty exciting headlines throughout the world of sports. And we're very glad we've been able to share it all with you. Today we have some more exciting topics to cover. To kick things off, Summer will be joined by graduating senior Lauren Richey to talk about her most memorable KU experiences and any tips she has for fellow Jayhawks, as well as what her steps are post-graduation. As the semester comes to a close, it's always exciting to hear what students have planned as they transition into the real world. After the interview, we will head on to all things sports. First off, Emil will follow up with some updated information on the transfer portal. A few of our Jayhawks have recently confirmed their decisions on whether or not they plan to stay, so stay tuned to find out whose comeback we can celebrate for the next season. After a break, we'll take a look at round 1 of the NFL Draft with Brandon, which wrapped up last night and will continue through April 25th. Additionally, if you've been keeping up with the NBA playoffs, things are heating up across the board, so be sure to stay tuned because Sophia will be updating us on where things currently stand following the most recent games. Finally, Emil will be back again to bring us the weekly Jayhawk Sports Report, covering all things you need to know about KU sports. And of course, Josie will close us out with the weather report for the coming week. With that, let's go ahead and hand it over to Summer and Lauren.
Thank you, Lexi, and welcome back, Jayhawks. Today I'm joined by multimedia journalism and sports management student Lauren Richey. For just a quick background, Lauren works with KU Athletics as a social media manager for the women's basketball, men's, and women's golf teams. She also has been on Playmakers and covered some football and men's basketball as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're so excited to have you. I know you've accomplished a lot throughout your time here at KU, so we're really excited to hear from you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I want to start at the beginning of your college experience. You're kind of from the area, Olathe, Kansas. So what initially drew you in to pursue multimedia journalism at KU?
Yeah, so I definitely grew up playing all sports of all kinds, and I knew that if I wasn't going to play them in college, I definitely would want to work in them. And so I took some classes in high school. I knew this was my calling. Took a class here at KU and kind of found my path that way.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I'm sure you made a ton of unforgettable memories throughout your 4 years here, so I'm just curious what your most memorable moments have been.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, I guess like sports aside, it's really the people you surround yourself with. I think that those will be the memories I carry with me after college. I mean, there's so many. I feel like I can't pinpoint one, but truly like the friends I've made, the connections I've made are what I'm going to remember when I leave here. But I mean, the sports here have been great. Like KU has great sports for us to cover, so
yeah, I agree.
Lots of sports memories too.
I feel like the culture at KU, especially surrounding sports, is really like makes the college experience really rewarding and memorable. So, what do you think was your most valuable experience throughout your time working at KU?
Yeah, I think probably like classes aside, it's all the extracurricular activities that you do. I think that are the most valuable. Just getting all those extra reps in practice. So like what you guys are doing right now is what you're going to put on your reel and your website, and that's ultimately going to get you your job. So like classes are important, but I think getting involved in every way, doing anything you can outside of your classes is what's really going to get you far.
Yeah, totally. As we know, the sports industry is ever changing and sometimes pretty stressful. Knowing what you do now and having the insight you do now as a senior, is there something you wish you would have known freshman year going in, or maybe like any advice you have for incoming freshmen?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think that like the position I'm in right now, I wouldn't change anything. In fact, I think there's no right way of doing things, but having the experience I have at this point in time, I know is going to get me a job. I can't imagine being in my position and having no experience, because it would be really hard to even get that first interview. So, and all of that is thanks to all the extracurriculars that I did, because that ultimately landed my job with KU Athletics, and then that has given me something to put on my resume. That's a good starting point. So getting involved and taking every opportunity is what's gotten me here.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Well, the journalism school is going to be so sad, but obviously really proud to see where you go next. With that being said, what is coming up for you after graduation?
Yeah, I don't currently have a plan right now, but I'm not stressed in any sort of way. I think that a lot of people that you talk to is going to tell you they didn't get their first job post-grad until like 6 months or even a year after college. It's a very competitive field, like you mentioned, but I'm very confident in the experiences that I have. So, you know, just waiting to hear back from the right place. I think it's also important to be kind of picky. You don't want to go somewhere and be miserable. So just being confident in everything that I have done, and I know that the right place will be home for me here, and could be a couple months, could be a year from now, but I know KU has left me with some really good experience, and it'll get me far.
Yeah, well, we're so excited to see what you do.
Thank you.
That's all Lauren and I have today, so thank you for joining us, and here's Emil with some exciting transfer portal updates.
Thanks, Summer. KU has been moving in the transfer portal this spring. A little slow, in my opinion, but officially they signed Keanu Dawes on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, Kansas officially announced the signing of sophomore Leroy Biden Jr., who averaged 16.4 points a game and was awarded MAC Freshman Player of the Year this past season, where he played at Toledo. In potential signees, Kansas has been rumored with some interest in Oklahoma State junior Victorious Miller and College of Charleston senior Christian Reeves, who visited the campus on Monday. In people who are returning, Paul Mbia and Cole Rosario both announced that they will be staying, which one of the only people who are actually staying, but shout out them. But it might not seem a lot in the transfer portal for the KU Jayhawks right now, but we can't forget that despite some players not being able to enter the transfer portal anymore, they can still sign at any time. Shout out Diggy Coit. That's all I got for KU's transfer portal for today. After the break, it's going to be Brandon with an NFL draft recap of that first round.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back, Jayhawks. It's Brandon, and I'm here with some updates from round 1 of the NFL Draft. 32 of the 257 names to be called in the 91st NFL Draft have been scratched from the list after round 1 wrapped up on Thursday in front of a record-setting 320 individual crowd in Pittsburgh. The Las Vegas Raiders kicked things off by actually not messing up for once, going with Fernando Mendoza. The Heisman winner and national champion became only the second ever Indiana Hoosier to be picked number 1 overall. The New York Jets followed by taking David Bailey, a defensive edge from Texas Tech, over Ohio State linebacker Arvell Reese. Everything within those first two picks seemed to be going as many had expected, until it wasn't after things took a turn at pick number 3. After rumors of Arizona trading out of the third pick, they decided to hold on and take maybe the best talent in the draft in Jeremiah Love. The Cardinals looked away from the glaring holes on the roster and will now add Love to a running back room that already contains NFL veterans James Conner and Tyler Algier. Love also becomes the first running back to be taken in the top 3 since Saquon Barkley in 2018. 3 players out of Ohio State went in the first 7 picks, including a duo of Buckeyes at 4 and 5, with wide receiver Carnell Tate going to Tennessee and Arvell Reese heading to the New York Giants. The first of 8 trades on the night came at number 6 when the Kansas City Chiefs moved up 3 spots to take defensive back Mansour Delane out of LSU. The big shock of the night, though, was at pick number 13 when the Los Angeles Rams selected Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. The Rams currently have the reigning MVP in Matthew Stafford, returning for next season, and had players like Mekhi Lemon, Ruben Bain, and Kenyon Sadiq all on the board to fill potential positions that they needed. Mekhi Lemon ended up being the steal of the draft, falling all the way to number 20, where the Philadelphia Eagles traded up to take arguably the best receiver in the draft. Notre Dame running back Jadarian Price rounded out the first round after Seattle took him at pick 32. Price and Love now became the first running back tandem from the same college to be taken in the first round in the modern era of the NFL, and the third ever duo in the history of the draft. My teams that won the first round were the Tennessee Titans, who took Tate at 4 and got edge rusher Keldrick Falk at 31, the Dallas Cowboys, who got the best safety in the draft in Caleb Downs at 11, and later added defensive end Malachi Lawrence from UCF at 23, and the New York Giants, who used both their top 10 picks by taking Arvell Reese at 5 and offensive tackle Francis Mauigoa at 10. As for my round 1 losers, I have the Rams for the Simpson decision and the Miami Dolphins, who, in my opinion, reached on both offensive tackle Caden Proctor at 12 and defensive back Chris Johnson at 27. Some of the best available names heading into round 2 are defensive backs Jermod McCoy from Tennessee, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren from Toledo, Avion Terrell from Clemson, and Washington wide receiver Denzel Boston. Rounds 2 and 3 will begin at 6 p.m. Central Time on Friday. Tune in to the rest of the draft this weekend to see how it all plays out. Now over to Sophia to give us an update on the ongoing NBA playoffs.
Thanks, Brandon. The 2026 NBA playoffs are already delivering drama, upsets, and breakout performances as teams battle for a spot in the finals this June. The postseason tipped off on April 18th, and the first-round matchups across both conferences are heating up fast, with several series already shifting momentum. In the Eastern Conference, one of the biggest storylines comes out of New York. The Atlanta Hawks stunned Madison Square Garden this week, beating the Knicks in a tight game, 3-thriller, and taking a 2-1 lead over in the series. The Hawks' aggressive offense, led by clutch game scoring, has turned a matchup into one of the most competitive series of the round. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Cavaliers and Toronto Raptors continue their physical playoff battle, while Detroit, the East's top seed, looks to defend home court as the postseason moves deeper into the opening round. Out west, Oklahoma City Thunder is proving why they entered the playoffs as the number 1 seed. Despite injury concerns to key players, Oklahoma City continues to dominate on both ends of the floor, showing the depth and defensive strength that made them one of the league's best teams this season. Elsewhere, the Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves are locked in a hard-fought series, while the Lakers and Rockets matchup brings superstar power back to the playoff spotlight, as the Lakers lead the series 2-0, and even without key players like Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and Anthony Davis, they're still leading. Adding to the excitement, the league's MVP race remains front and center during the postseason. Finalists include Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a rising superstar in Victor Wembanyama, all players whose performances could shape the playoffs picture in the next coming weeks. The usual top player for the MVP looking is Nikola Jokic, who has recently been experiencing some rare but significant struggles during the playoffs as he faces intense defensive pressure. Looking ahead, a packed weekend schedule features multiple games of 4 and potential turning points across the league, as the teams try to avoid falling into a dangerous 3-1 deficit. National broadcasts continue through early May, with the NBA Finals scheduled to begin June 3rd. For now, every possession matters, and if the first round is any indication, this year's road to the championship is wide open. That's all I have with the NBA today. Now here's Emil with the Jayhawk Sports Report.
Thanks, Sophia, and welcome back. It's Emil, and it's your Jayhawk Sports Report. The baseball team beat ranked Nebraska on Tuesday 9-7, giving the Jayhawks their second win against the ranked Huskers this season alone, after a previous visit to Lincoln where the Jayhawks won 5-3. The Jayhawks trailed this game in the bottom of the 6th inning, until they had a pair of home runs that gave KU a 6-4 lead. This game also broke a record, a Hoagland Ballpark record, setting the highest attendance record in the ballpark's history with 2,674 fans attending Tuesday's match. Kansas is now 30-11 overall and still atop the Big 12 Conference with a 2-game lead and a 14-4 conference record. West Virginia is currently in second place, with the Mountaineers heading to Lawrence this following weekend with a conference championship possibly on the line. The Jayhawks will head to Manhattan this weekend for a 3-game series against K-State, where the first pitch is tonight at 6 p.m. The softball team, on the other hand, lost 2 of 3 at UCF last weekend, and with no midweek games, the Jayhawks' next series is up against Iowa State this weekend at Arocha Ballpark with a 5 p.m. start time tonight, and on Saturday, it's Dollar Dog Night. KU is currently 30-15 overall and tied for third place at 11-7 in the Big 12. Speaking of softball, last night it was announced that freshman Ella Boyer made the NFCA Top 25 freshman list, which means Boyer is officially in the race for the 2026 NFCA Division I National Freshman of the Year. The winner will be announced on Tuesday, May 26th, prior to the start of the 2026 National NCAA Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. The volleyball team completed its spring season with a split at home. The Jayhawks beat Arkansas but lost to Mizzou. These exhibition matches allow coaches to substitute different lineups and play everybody on the roster. Finally, former Jayhawk Sharon Lokedi won the Boston Marathon on Monday. The former 10,000-meter NCAA champion has now won 2 Boston Marathons in a row to add to her New York Marathon title that she won in her post-collegiate debut. That's all we got for this week's Jayhawk Sports Report. After a short break, it's going to be Josie with the weather.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
Welcome back, Jayhawks. Well, last night we had some severe weather, but today it's looking like a pleasant Friday with some sunshine returning. But this weekend we see rounds of thunderstorms returning, and once we get past Monday, temperatures look to cool down quite a bit. But here's a picture from last night, about an hour before that storm arrived. It was looking gloomy, and we can clearly see this dark spot right here. That's where the storm line was developing and started heading our way towards Lawrence. But there was some sunshine off to the north where there was a few breaks in the clouds. But currently it is 56 degrees, sunny conditions, a dew point at 45. So our dew point's been dropping. We're becoming more dry, but we're still pretty humid right now. Our wind's out of the north today, a little bit of a change from yesterday when we were out of the southeast. Now we're out of the north at 10 miles per hour, gusting up to 17. So not as windy as yesterday as well. Outside in Emporia, we have a nice clear sky. It's sunny, and you can even see a bird in this camera. Temperatures today are going to continue to increase over in central Topeka as well. Just a very pleasant day, but it's kind of cool right now. Temperatures 56, 57 in Leavenworth, 56 Lawrence as well, and Topeka, 57 in Ottawa and Kansas City. So cooler this morning, but we're going to continue to warm. Not as warm as yesterday. Temperatures today will be lucky if we break 70. So at 3 p.m., again, sunny conditions. 3, we're going to be 69. 5 o'clock, we're going to be 70. Winds out of the north, becoming northeasterly tonight, dying down 10 miles per hour. And at 7, temperature's going to be 67 degrees with our winds out of the northeast at 8 miles per hour. Tomorrow, however, a little bit warmer, but increasing clouds, and late into the evening, early Sunday, we're going to see some thunderstorm chances as well. Not as severe as tomorrow. The UV is going to be 5 just due to this increase in cloud cover. Wind's going to shift out of the southeast. This is what's going to bring our rain chance later in the evening at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So again, not as windy tomorrow. Gusting up to 17 miles per hour. But once we get past Monday, like I said, we're going to cool down quite a bit. This weekend, 75, 74. Isolated rain showers on Sunday. Nothing severe. Early in the morning and late in the evening as well. Monday, again, another round of scattered showers, nothing severe, a high of 79. So enjoy this day because it's going to be the warmest, because once we get past Monday, we see temperatures back down into the 60s. Again, this is not freezing weather, but it is just not as warm as we've seen. Our low is going to be in the 40s for most of the week as well. That's all I have for you guys. Back to Lexi.
Thank you, Josie. Looks like we will have a longer break from the heat than I expected, which makes me all the more excited for summer. And thank you, Lauren, for being here today and giving us some final words of wisdom before you graduate. We wish you the best of luck moving forward. And as always, thank you, Jayhawks, for tuning in today. We hope to see you back for our final show of the spring semester next Friday. Stay warm this weekend and rock chalk.